Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're completely breaking down Chapter 7 of your contemporary India geography textbook. We are literally exploring the anatomy of our country. I mean, if you've ever stopped and wondered how goods actually reach your local store, how a text message instantly crosses state lines, or how massive, sprawling industries get all their raw materials, well, you're in the right place. Let's dive right in. Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We've got the nation's lifelines, land transport roads, railways, and pipelines, waterways and airways, the communication network, and finally, we'll wrap up by solving some chapter exercises together.
All right, Part 1, the nation's lifelines, the arteries and veins of India. So think about this for a second. How does a massive, incredibly diverse country like India keep its economy alive and pumping? I want you to imagine India not just as a static piece of land on a map, but as a living, breathing organism. Just like your body absolutely needs arteries and veins to pump blood, our country relies heavily on transport, communication, and trade. It's pretty simple when you break it down. Transport moves the goods, communication shares the information, and trade builds the wealth. You just cannot have local, national, or global trade without a well-developed, highly functioning transport and communication system. Okay, here is the official textbook definition, and you'll definitely want to lock this in for your exams. The lifelines of national economy refers to a dense and efficient network of transport and communication. I really want you to notice that word right there, prerequisite. It's an absolute must-have. Long before a town develops or an industry starts booming, this foundational network has to be in place to convert our vast world into one large interconnected village.
Moving on to Part 2, land transport, roads, connecting every single corner.
All right, let's talk about our roads. In India, the CBSE curriculum categorizes our road network into 6 distinct classes based on their capacity. Honestly, memorizing this list is your very first step to mastering this section. We start from the absolute top with the massive 6-lane superhighways connecting our megacities, and then we work our way down through national, state, and district roads, all the way to rural roads connecting small villages, and finally those highly strategic border roads. Let's actually look at how these are laid out. Check out the map we have here. Do you see that yellow circuit? That right there is the Golden Quadrilateral Superhighway. It's this massive project linking Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and Mumbai in a giant loop. Now trace that red line running vertically straight down. That is the super vital north-south corridor, and it links Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir all the way down to Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. We also have an east-west corridor connecting Silchar and Assam to Porbandar in Gujarat. You know, these aren't just normal roads. They're mega arteries, specifically designed to reduce the travel time and distance between India's biggest megacities. But hey, obviously not all roads are perfectly flat highways. Take a look at these incredible images. They really show off the exceptionally difficult, dangerous terrain tackled by the Border Roads Organization, or BRO for short. The BRO is a Government of India undertaking that was established back in 1960. And their mission? It's basically to secure and develop roads of immense strategic importance up in our northern and northeastern border areas. Just imagine having to carve a safe, drivable path through heavy snow and steep, winding mountains. These roads have literally been a game changer, dramatically improving accessibility and boosting economic development in some of the most remote areas of the country. So beyond just capacity, we also classify roads by the materials they're built with. Keep this quick comparison handy for your exams. On one side, we have metalled roads. These are your durable, all-weather heroes, constructed from cement, concrete, or coal bitumen. They are going to keep functioning rain or shine. On the flip side, unmetalled roads are basically just made of natural earth. So, as you can probably guess, once those heavy monsoons hit, these roads just turn into deep mud and essentially become totally unusable. All right, Section 3, Railways and Pipelines, Moving Masses and Molecules. 1853, I really need you to remember this number. It is a landmark historical date that you absolutely must know. 1853 is the year the Indian Railways was officially born. The very first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane, and it covered a fairly modest distance of just 34 kilometers. But fast forward to today, the Indian Railways is the largest public sector undertaking in the entire country. It has acted as a great integrating force for over 150 years. It practically binds our economic life together and really accelerates both industrial and agricultural development. Now, pipelines are fascinating. They're actually a relatively new mode of transport on India's map. And we aren't just talking about your standard water pipes here. We use these massive underground networks to transport crude oil, petroleum products, and natural gas straight from the fields directly to refineries and fertilizer factories. Let's quickly lock in the 3 major geographical routes you'll need to remember. First, we have Upper Assam to Kanpur. Second, Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar in Punjab. And third, there's the massive 1,700-kilometer cross-country HVJ gas pipeline linking the Mumbai High and Bassein gas fields to industries in western and northern India. These pipelines are quite literally the underground lifelines keeping our heavy industries fueled 24/7.
Section 4 coming up. Waterways and Airways. Navigating seas and skies.
Take a look at this staggering number, 95%. 95% of our country's international trade volume is moved by sea. Because India is blessed with such a massively long coastline, our seaports are absolutely crucial. Take the Deen Dayal tidal port, for instance. It was specifically designed to conveniently handle all the exports and imports for the highly productive industrial and agricultural granary belts across northern and western India. And remember, waterways still remain the absolute cheapest means of transport, especially for bulky and heavy goods. All right, let's look up to the skies now. Airways are for sure the fastest, most comfortable, and prestigious mode of transport out there. But historically, they've just been way out of reach for the average person. Well, enter the UDAN scheme. That stands for Uday Dishka Aam Nagrik. This is a brilliant regional connectivity initiative cooked up by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. The core idea here is to really encourage airlines to operate on remote routes, making air travel genuinely affordable for the everyday citizen. It's effectively shrinking the distances across our vast nation.
Section 5. The communication network, the nation's nervous system.
So, if transport is our circulatory system pumping goods everywhere, our communication network is absolutely our nervous system. We divide this into 2 main categories. First, personal communication. This is between individuals, think letters and parcels. Did you know the Indian postal network is actually the largest in the world? It's huge. They handle first-class mail like cards and envelopes, which are actually airlifted, and second-class mail like book packets that are carried by surface transport. On the other hand, we have mass communication, things like All India Radio and television. And guys, this isn't just for entertainment. Its critical role is to create awareness about major national programs across all our different regional languages. Managing personal communication for over 1 billion people is no small feat. I mean, it's a colossal task. So, to facilitate incredibly rapid delivery of mail in our massive towns and cities, the Postal Service introduced these 6 dedicated mail channels. We've got the Rajdhani channel, the Metro channel, the Green channel, the Business channel, the Bulk mail channel, and the Periodical channel. This smart categorization is a prime example of an ultra-efficient communication lifeline in action.
Okay, finally, Section 6, chapter exercises solved. Let's check your understanding.
All right, guys, we've covered the heavy concepts, so let's actually apply them. Here's a classic textbook application question. Why is air travel preferred in the northeastern states? Pause and think for a second. Based on what we just learned about terrain, well, the answer is that the Northeast is completely characterized by highly difficult terrain. We're talking high mountains, dreary deserts, dense forests, wide rivers, and frequent floods. Trying to lay down roads and railways there is incredibly challenging, and they're constantly prone to damage. Air travel easily just bypasses all these physical barriers, making it by far the most practical lifeline for that specific region. Next up, a quick multiple-choice question. Which one of the following is the most important mode of transportation in India? Did you get this one right? While roads obviously connect every little village, your textbook explicitly confirms that railways are the principal and most important mode of transportation for heavy freight and massive passenger movement in India. They really are the great integrating force. So the correct answer here is B, railways. Okay, let's test that map memory of yours. What is the northern terminal of the North-South corridor? Think back to that map of the superhighways we analyzed a few minutes ago. The red line links the very top of India to the very bottom, right? Which makes Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir the northern terminal. One last question for you. Which term is used to describe trade between 2 or more countries? Well, if local trade is within villages and national trade is within the country, then trade across country borders has to be international trade. Option B. This is the exact kind of trade that expands a country's area of influence and literally converts the globe into one large interconnected village. You guys did amazing today. You now totally understand that our roads, railways, pipelines, ships, airplanes, and communication networks aren't just boring infrastructure. They are the living, breathing arteries of our socioeconomic progress. Keep reviewing those notes, and as you do, I want to leave you with this final thought. As the next generation of engineers, planners, and citizens, how are you going to innovate these vital networks to keep our nation moving forward? Catch you in the next one.